Hello, I'm John Hawk, the Chief Operations Officer and Executive Director for Nevada State High School. Welcome to Nevada State High School's Count Week tutorial for all students. Use the guide bar at the bottom of the presentation to navigate through the presentation. Go ahead, click the forward button now to begin your presentation. First, let's understand what Count Day is. The state actually takes account of the number of students at each public school in Nevada to determine how much money the school will be given that year. This money is used to pay for your classes, textbooks, and operations of the school. Unlike traditional schools, each student at Nevada State High School must submit proof to validate their enrollment, as the students are all enrolled in college classes, making it almost impossible for Nevada State High School to verify directly. If students do not submit valid proof, it means that funds needed to pay for those classes are not available. Big problems here. Students will submit required documents on time to verify their activity. Count Week takes place in mid-September for fall semester, and then again in January for the spring semester. Know these dates. In this tutorial, we will discuss the importance of information about the Count Week form, and how to become familiar with completing the Count Day form and validating your course enrollment, and submitting that form to Nevada State High School. Be sure you have your Count Day form available on Moodle in front of you now, and work through this tutorial with us. At the end of this presentation, you will take a 5-question quiz. Let's get started. Click to the next slide when you're ready. The first thing you'll do is prepare your form typed or neatly written for completion. Be sure to read the form to ensure you are aware of the important information listed. Complete the top section seen here circled in red with all of your updated contact information, and don't forget your grade level. Next, write the actual names of your classes in the column labeled class/course title, as indicated in the yellow circle. To finish preparing your form, write your professors' names on the form. Please do not hand a form to a professor that is not pre-filled out. This is circled in blue. Be sure all of your classes are listed, as 11th graders must have 6 classes and 12th graders must have at least 4 classes. Please complete the information covered in this tutorial on your form now. When you're ready, click to the next slide. The next step is validating course enrollment. This is done by proving you have been active in your college classes during the established Count Week dates. There are 2 ways to validate your activity in the course: by showing online activity in the course or obtaining a professor's signature on the Count Day form. Let's see how both of these work. Click to the next slide when you're ready. Many professors, either in person or online, have students submit work, post messages, and communicate online. Look, this is the best way to prove that you've been active in a course. First, make sure you've logged on, completed an assignment, communicated with your professor or other students, and that you are actively engaged in the course during the count time window. The grade book or module progress is a good page to print if you have received your grades during Count Week. You must show your name, the course name, and a date when obtaining online proof that you were active in the course during the window. Sometimes you may need to print the screen or paste onto a Word document, but make sure it is accurate and shows your activity date during the Count Week. Also, resist the urge to send your professors bogus messages to just show that you made the date. This annoys them. Don't irritate the one who determines your grade. Please take a minute to see what classes you can obtain online activity verification and determine who you will need signatures from. Click to the next slide when you're ready. If your professor doesn't have anything online, you can approach him or her to obtain his or her signature. The upper corner of the form outlines Count Week information for your professor, but it's always best if you explain this information to verify your enrollment for your scholarship. Have the professor sign next to his or her pre-filled out name and be sure to have him or her date next to his or her name. Here's a helpful hint. Try to catch your professor at a convenient time, not when they are rushed. Also, you will get Nevada State High School courses validated with the Nevada State High School teacher signature. At this time, you can document the online submission by writing "See Attached" in the professor's signature section for that class. Click to the next slide when you're ready. What to do in unique situations. In other words, problem solving. If you have a mid-semester starting class, you will go to your college student account. This will show your course start date. Print this, write "See Attached" on your form, and prepare it for submission. If you have a BYU course, or you will go to the grade section and print out that activity that you did during the week of Count Week. If you're completing Count Week for a spring semester and took classes over the winter, just submit the final grade through an unofficial transcript. Summer courses are not allowed on the form, as they are not part of any semester. High school courses may include the 2-week course, the transition course, and study skills. Compass for second years is not a class, so don't put this on the form. If you have a weekend or night course before the due dates and need a professor's signature, get it the week earlier or submit a ticket to get guidance. Other excluded courses are lab courses. These are part of the science course, but don't put it on there twice. Math prep, proficiency support, or any other courses less than 3 college credits, or any courses 300 level or higher, are also not included on this particular Count Week form. If you don't have any validation, this likely means that you have not done anything. You have bigger issues here. See a Nevada State High School staff immediately. Click to the next slide when you're ready. Okay. Now you're going to prepare your form for submission. When you have all your supporting documents from online validations and professor signatures on the form, go back to see that everything is typed in or written out neatly and accurately. Organize and place the supporting attachments in order that they are listed on the count day form. Be sure to highlight your name, the class name, and the activity date within the count week on each online course validation. If you are missing any of these items on the form, you will need to go back and find one that has this information. Sign and date the bottom during the established count week date window. Students will need to attend their scheduled study skills class to turn in this paperwork on Monday and Tuesday of the count week. Even if they are exempt from study skills, it is important for exempt students to make arrangements to attend their selected study skills class that was indicated on their voucher to submit the required documentation. If you have any questions or need help determining what to print, you could submit a ticket and attend your assigned study skills session in order to get help. It is essential to be accurate and complete. This is one of the big due dates for the year, and the state auditors will be going through these to determine funding for Nevada State High School. Remember, Nevada State High School is here to support you. We want to see you be successful with this, so reach out and get support from us. Click to the next slide when you're ready. This is the Count Week tutorial. You learned how to complete the Count Week form, validate your course enrollment, and submit your form. Now let's take a short 5-question quiz on your understanding of the tutorial. Click to the next slide when you're ready. Let's go through a couple of things before you begin your 5-question quiz, including, after answering each question, click Next. After answering all the questions from the quiz, click the Submit All button. You will have 2 opportunities to take and pass the quiz with an 85% or better. Now look, be careful. Some of the questions will calculate negative points for your answers. So take your time, read each question carefully, and go through the quiz at your own pace by selecting your answer and clicking the Next button when you're ready, or the Back button to go back to a previous question. Remember, click the Submit All button when you're ready to give your final submission for your entire quiz and receive a grade. Okay, let's get started. Click to the next slide when you're ready.